If you know me, you know I like synths. And if you like synths, then you're in luck, because I'm at the 2025 NAMM Show and I've just spent a couple hours scouting the show floor to find what are the 5 best synths at this year's NAMM Show. So enough talking, let me just take you there and show you. So for the first stop of my synth tour, I stopped at the In Music booth where I'm going to be checking the Moog Muse, which Moog released earlier in 2024. The Muse is an analog bitimbral polysynth driven by 8 analog voices, each of which has 2 VCOs, 1 mod VCO, a dual VCF, and a stereo VCA. And the really cool thing about the Muse is that it brings together iconic Moog designs, including Voyager-inspired oscillators, the CP3 saturating mixer, 902 VCA, and a 904A inspired filter. The Muse is super hands-on with its amazing looking control surface, but it also comes with 16 banks of 16 presets with superbly designed basses, plug sound, pads, and leads. You're of course invited to create your own sounds with this board and saves them in the internal memory. Last but not least, the Muse features a great sounding diffusion delay, which is inspired by vintage digital rack delays. And this thing sounds amazing. So this is it for the Moog Muse, an incredible sounding synth. And now let's just go check other synths on the NAMM show floor. For my second stop, I decided to come by the Expressive E booth to check out one of my favorite synths ever, the Osmose, which you might have heard recently if you've seen Dune Part 2, as Hans Zimmer used it in the score of that movie. One of the things that sets Osmose apart is its truly unique 49-key keybed. The keyboard features ultra-precise key tracking on a per-key basis, and it reacts to different movements. So for example, you can tap a key, you can bend a key, you can slowly push a key, and the preset will behave differently. The Osmose comes with a pretty extensive library of incredibly well-designed plugins that use Haken Audio's Eigen Matrix, and so you can get some incredible electroacoustic instruments, but also recreations of vintage synths. And coupled with the keyboard, it truly gives them a totally new dimension. There's a large screen on the left of the Osmose from which you can browse presets, and you can also tweak the patches to make them your own. And the Osmose also features a pretty extensive effects section with reverb, analog echo, distortion, and more, which you can navigate from that screen here on the left. Not only the Osmose is an amazing MPE synth, but it is also an incredible MPE MIDI controller. So you can use it with MPE compatible hardware synth as well as MPE enabled software synth. So this is it for this quick overview of the Osmose by Expressive E. And I don't use the term game changer often, but I really do think that this really brings something different to the table and is truly unique. And I highly recommend you check it out and let it inspire you. For my next stop, I decided to come to one of my favorite booths at the show, the Melbourne Instrument booth. and they have a lot of cool things at their booth this year, so it was a little bit hard to choose. But I decided that we could talk about the Delia, which is Melbourne Instruments' second synthesizer. It brings back the company's signature fully motorized surface, but this time in an integrated design instrument with a 49-key keybed. It has 6 voices of polyphony with 4 oscillators per voice, 2 virtual analog oscillators, 1 noise generator, and 1 wavetable oscillator. It also is bitimbral, so it can morph from one preset to another loaded on the same layer. And it also has a built-in sequencer and phrase looper. The Delia comes with a pretty extensive library of presets, which you can instantly recall using the load button, and the surface control will instantly show you all the parameters of that active preset with the knobs moving in position automatically. The Delia also comes with 3 LFOs, a really cool dual filter with an analog low pass with drive control and a digital high pass. The Delia also has onboard digital effects, which you can dial in the effects section. And it also has a very flexible modulation matrix, which you can access using the mod button here. And you can set any source on the front panel to the destinations, which are located in the bottom row of buttons here. So this is it for the Delia. It's an amazing sounding synth, and the fully motorized control surface never stops to impress. I highly recommend you check it out. I couldn't do a Best Synth in Show roundup and not mention the amazing miniKORG 700 SM, which is a reissue of the legendary miniKORG 700S, which came out in the 70s. And this one was redesigned under the supervision of Fumio Maeda, which is one of the original engineers who designed the OG in the 70s. This version really preserved the warmth and the richness of the analog sound of the original synth. It has most of its control in the front of the unit because it was originally meant to sit on top of an organ. It has a multi-shape oscillator that can be transposed over 5 octaves, a second oscillator for ring modulation, an incredible sounding spring reverb, as well as portamento control and vibrato. The new keyboard also has channel aftertouch and a memory bank at the very top, so you can save parameters and presets without having to use a patch sheet. So truly a fun, great looking and great sounding synth, ideal for anybody who wants to bring analog warmth into their music. Alright, so we're here at the Roland booth for our last stop on our Dream Synth tour, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk about the Roland Aira Compact series, which is a series of instruments that Roland put out, and they're really covering a lot of ground here. One of the things I really like about them is that they're so compact and battery powered, so you can take them in the field with you and produce music anywhere. So as I said, Roland covers a lot of ground here. We got the P6, which is a compact sampler with plenty of granular controls and a powerful sequencer and 6 play pads. The E4 is a super fun vocal processor with a great pitch shifter that works super well, and it also has a great reverb. Then we have the T8 right here, which is kind of like a drum machine and an acid bassline machine wrapped into one. It has all the classic TR-808, TR-809, and TR-606 analog drum sounds. And it also has a TB-303 flavor to it, and you can make some really cool acid bass lines. Then we have the J6, which is pretty much a pocket-sized Juno 106. It has a keyboard interface so that you can just jam on it, but it also has this really cool chord sequencer, which is what I used in the opening demo, and it was really fun to use. Lastly, we have the S1, which is kind of a replica of the SH101 and aims to replicate an analog synth with virtual analog technology. It sounds awesome. You got plenty of controls, oscillator controls, filter controls, a sequencer, and a keyboard so that you can play it on the go. And just to say how easy and intuitive they are to use, I just came to the booth and I created this small jam in literally 5 seconds. So they're that easy and fun to use. So that's it for the Aira Compact Series. Check them out. And so here we are back where it all began. I hope you enjoyed the 5 synths I showed you, and I hope you enjoyed our coverage of the 2025 NAMM Show. We'll be back next year for more exciting new music and audio release. Until then, this was Gabe with B&H, and I'll see you next time.